Special Report.
We're calling upon one of the strangest things in existence.
Neil Armstrong may have seen extraterrestrials on the moon.
When he spies a discernible shape.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
You can deny all the things I've seen, all the things I've discovered, but not for much longer. Because too many others know what's happening out there. And no one, no government agency has jurisdiction over the truth.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Full Spectrum Universe. Have I got a show for you tonight? Let me tell you something. Tonight is going to be a whirlwind. It's going to be so much fun. I've got an amazing guest. She's been featured on the Hoser Files. She's on the Travel Channel, of course. She is a psychic medium. She is called April, the psychic housewife of New Jersey. She is so talented at what she does. I just want to tell people right off the bat that I admire everything she does. She really helps people mentally, physically, and it's really a great thing to see people like her out there that really, really go out and help people. And she has a gift. It is an ultimate gift that personally I wish I had. It's so great to see, the way that people with her gift, she's just amazing, actually affect people on a daily basis doing what they do and helping people to find closure, to know that loved ones are okay, to tell you what might be coming. So right now I'm going to bring her into the stream. Let's all say hi to April.
Hey, Rob, how are you? Hi, everyone.
I am absolutely phenomenal. How are you this evening?
I feel great. I'm so happy to be here finally.
I know we touched base so long ago, and then everything came about with me getting on different networks, and I wanted to present you in a light that you deserve to be presented in, and show the people what you have, and take the time to really get it, so we could do an awesome episode. Sit down, and just to let everybody know, April is going to share her gift with us a little bit later in the show. What I'm going to do is, as we go on in the comments, I'm going to post a link that's going to actually let you come into the studio, and you're going to be able to get a reading from this amazing woman. So, April, right off the bat, let's start by just tell us how you got started with this gift and how it affected you, in your early years, and how you came into it so well.
Okay, great. Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me on. I'm so honored to be here. And also, I got to tell you, that is one of the greatest intros for a show I have ever seen.
You like it?
So awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It took a long time to perfect it and quite a bit of money, so I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, that is really, I'm like, I got to make one. That is so cool.
Well, I'll put you in touch with somebody if you really need to do it.
Absolutely. I would love that.
He's amazing. He's amazing. It's actually
really good.
Shadowbox Media Canada.
Okay. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wow, that is really good. That's like the best intro I've ever seen. It
took me a while to perfect it because there was a lot of things that I wanted to make it, because we don't just touch on just the paranormal. We do everything.
Yeah.
If there's something to be said or some kind of knowledge that we should be putting out there to give people the facts about something. I mean, we do everything from UFOs. I mean, I've done politics. I've done everything. Everything.
Really?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I have to go back into the shows. I just saw the one with Ron Iacovetti and Lourdes Gonzalez.
Fantastic show.
Do investigations with, and they're my friends. And
they're so nice.
They're amazing. Aren't they amazing?
Oh, my God. Great people. I actually, to tell you a story, they were the first people I ever contacted to be on a show. And it just so happened that, with scheduling and things like that, that it lined up to be the premiere episode on this specific network, and it was phenomenal.
I know. I watched it. They are just amazing. And the evidence that they get, I've been in so many investigations with them, and the amazing evidence that we have got, the EVPs, just on the spirit box.
It's incredible. I mean, their way of doing EVP2 is a little bit different than most people, but it produces these sound bites that are just
Yeah.
so good.
Or I call them the experts in the field, and Lourdes is the guru of EVPs. She's got an amazing ear to hear things like that we don't hear, and then she goes, "Wait a minute, I hear this," and then we listen. We're like, "Holy crap!"
She really does. She really does.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
And there's so much fun to hang out with too. So like the investigation is fun.
Oh,
So
I can
that's
only
what
imagine.
we like to have fun too, you know.
And the crazy thing is that you guys are close to me. So I think when I do my first investigation ever, because I've never done one, as crazy as that sounds, I'm on a paranormal network and
Yeah.
I've never done an investigation.
Oh, we gotta take you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if I run out of the room, do not judge. I will be scared out of my
I
mind.
know, because I will judge, because some of our veterans, I'm not going to call them out, but I seen one of our veterans run. I also made a shirt up about them.
Oh God, that's fantastic. That's fit. And you wear it on every investigation you guys do, right?
No, because I'm not going to call them out. They're actually they're famous, so I'm not.
Oh, well,
It's a joke between me and somebody else that's famous too.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Excellent. I wanted to give a shout out to David Walliver, who is the owner and manager of RU Media Network, giving us the ability to put this show out every Saturday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And I just want to thank him. I apologize for not having the intro video, but we're going to work on that. We're going to get that going. But in the meantime, like I said, just tell us how you got started in this. Let's get into your life a little bit so people get to know you.
Yeah, so it actually started, let's see, I grew up in Hoboken. I was born in Hoboken, New Jersey. Woo, Hoboken.
Yeah, baby. New York and New Jersey. This is how we do it.
Yeah, it's where all the guineas come from. So,
You know it.
because I'm a
You
guinea.
know it.
My dad had passed away when I was 2. So my mom remarried 2 years later, and she brings us to our new home and my new, stepdad. And shortly after that, I wake up and my real father came to see me. And so I'm screaming. I'm like, Daddy's here, Daddy's here. And everyone's running in the room. And I said, Daddy was here at the bed, talking to me.
Mhm.
But from that, I guess it opened a portal, because I guess at the time, now I didn't know then, but I'm a psychic. I'm a psychic medium, which most kids, will find out at a young age this happens. Then it opened a portal and a bunch of spirits came in. So they weren't so nice. So now my house is haunted, and it's like the whole family's getting affected, but I could see them.
Oh my
And
God.
I know. They know I can see them. They can see me, because you know what? With psychic mediums, we all have that aura, but psychic mediums shine very bright in the spirit world. So they know where to go.
Sure.
So when my father came in, he brought, not on purpose, and so then it began, all hell broke loose. And then there was, the people coming to my room, coming to my bed. I'm waking up, there's people in my bed. And I'm just a kid. I know.
That must have been out of control. Like, that's
out of control. I was, you know what? To this day, if everyone that follows me will see me that I don't sleep much. I'm up all night. They'll see me at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5. Then I go work out. I just nap during the day because I'm still afraid of the dark. Even though I can control it now. Who comes to see me? Like, that's a big thing. I put my foot down. Because it happened when I first moved into my house. People were coming to visit me, and I would wake up. I would know somebody was there,
right?
And I would feel my bed go down, and I would sit up, and I would turn, and if I didn't see them, I would hear them. Like, one woman came into my room, and she's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey," I'm like, "Get the hell out of my house."
Who are you, and why are you here? Like, I don't know you.
I woke up with somebody in my face, and that's that's so scary.
Like super close, like face to face.
Close.
Oh my God.
And then another time I felt it, and I wouldn't open my eyes, and I said, if you don't get out of here right now, I'll make sure you go to where you belong. So,
we're going to get into that a little bit later on how I know you do investigations now as well. So, we're going to get into how you go about dispelling maybe a spirit from a house or helping people as we go on. But That's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah,
Now,
so I've made it my mission now. That's why I want to help people. Not only my readings are different. It's different from the investigations. For some reason, I attract more the wayward spirits, the ones that didn't cross over, that are still haunting. For some reason, I connect with them on a better level than I do, the people that have crossed. So that's why I love the investigations, because I can talk to them and hear them better.
sure.
And
Why do you think that is that you connect with them like that?
I don't know, and it's just, I guess, because they know I'm going to help them. I had with the Conjuring house, well, actually, they didn't want my help; they were trying to use me. But this is a funny thing. I do remote viewing, and I started it by mistake. So when my friends like Ron and Lourdes to say, oh, all right, we're going to go here, and automatically my mind, and I'm there at the place, and I can describe what's there, what's going on, what's happening, what's going to happen. So that happened by mistake. I have no control over that.
Wow.
So
That's wild.
house, we had the Conjuring because it was me, Ron Lourdes, Anthony Simonelli, Gerard Simonelli's family, Matthew Haas, and a whole bunch of us. And before, it was months before, but as soon as they told me where we were going, all of a sudden, I was brought there. I was brought to the backyard of the Conjuring house.
Oh my God.
This thing that kept contacting me, and I was leery. I knew there was something about this. The thing, I'm calling it the thing, because it was, tell me to come here, and want to help me, and it was like trying to be my friend. And I knew there was something up with this, so I kind of had an idea what it was. So I got that. I knew it wanted something from me. And another thing, I am a shaman. So shamans, we can remove curses. We're the only ones that can remove a curse by a witch. Most spells or anything that happens like that, only a shaman can do that. So that's why I think this thing contacted me. So when I got there, Carl Johnson came with us.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I went in the backyard. I said, listen, I told him what happened. He had already experienced this, and I think Zach Bagans also did the same thing. I never got to see the episode yet, so I have to watch this.
Oh, man.
I believe that the same thing happened to Zach. Zach knew what it was, or he was, he kept going in the backyard or something. There was a figure out there. Telling Carl actually saw the figure. I couldn't see it, but as I was walking away, I started walking away from it. I turned around and I caught a glimpse of it. What it wanted me to do, it was trying to bring me there. And when I got there to that backyard, it told me something very personal that nobody knew about. That was something good that happened in my life. And it was trying to take credit for it. So for me, in return, to remove the curse that's on that land.
Wow.
So it can come back onto the land.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, you know what? F you. I know what you are. It was an elemental. And a lot of people, you see, a lot of amateurs don't realize that elementals are not good. They are not our friends. They will promise you something, try and give you something or take credit for something, but it wants something in return. And if it doesn't get it, they will turn on you. So you have to be careful with that.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was crazy. But I cut ties with this thing that, I was communicating with this thing for months. So I knew I had a feeling it was an elemental. I knew it was trying to promise me something. But when I got there and it said something that nobody knew about, I'm like, you son of a bitch. I'm like, no, we are done. I'm like, you're never to contact me again.
So it got to you beforehand, before you got there,
months, contacting, just popping in and out of my head, telling me things, about the place. The Conjuring house was crazy, so here's another story. So before I get to the Conjuring house, I like to drive by myself because I kind of try to pick up stuff. So I'm driving in my car, I'm about a mile away, and all of a sudden I'm looking through some woman's eyes. I can drive though, I can still see, but I am looking through her eyes, and she's showing me what she's doing. And she was actually making what those voodoo dolls or something, but it was made out of human skin.
Oh man.
I know, and she's sewing it, and she's showing me like how she's sewing the mouth and sewing the eyes. Like she wanted me to see that, like what she was doing.
Straight psycho stuff. Like that's
Yeah,
wild.
really crazy stuff. But that was quite an experience. So when I got there, she kind of told me. She told me, well, that voodoo doll, I think, is like in the middle of the property. I don't think anyone's ever going to find unless they dig up the property. I told the owners. She also told me in the shape of a pentacle that she has like some kind of satchel, like like if we make a spell with with some herbs and crystals or whatever, or at a corner of each point of pentacle, and it's buried on the property. And I think that's the spell on the property, like to keep certain things off or out. But it was weird.
Maybe certain things in as well.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
that's
Well,
crazy.
that elemental cannot get onto that property because of that spell.
The
And
fact that it contacted you first was crazy. I would have been freaked out.
You know what? I think when being touched kind of freaks me out a little bit more. Like that happened at the Haldeman Mansion, that at the haunted Shanley Hotel. But you know what? That's where I want to take you, the haunted Shanley Hotel. I always tell people like that never investigated before, that's the best place to go. There's always action, EVPs, being touched, but it's not so scary.
Oh, I'm down. I'm down to do it. I'm so excited to do it too. I've never done it. I've actually just gotten into this community probably about like 5 months ago now. So I'm starting to learn a lot, and it's awesome because there's so many people that are just, very welcoming, and
this is a great community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just it's phenomenal, the amount of knowledge that goes behind it too. And I love history, so I'm like in love with the fact of going into like backlogs of where these houses came from, what happened.
See,
I mean that
they can't talk around me. I walk out, or like if they have a group chat, I'm not involved in the group chat because I can't get any information. It will totally mess up my viewing of the information that I get on my own. So I have to go in there completely cold.
That's wild. That's
and
wild.
I still don't know stuff. I still don't want to know anything, about any of the locations, because I will probably eventually go back. I've been to Hinsdale. I'm sure you've heard of the Hinsdale. I will be back there in March. So that's another crazy place that I was brought there remotely.
All in time, we'll definitely hit those places up. I'm excited for that. But
yeah.
So let's get back to sort of like the beginning again. Well, after you had your first like instances, when did you start like really honing your skills down and knowing, let's say not so much your craft, but like knowing that you have this gift, and that now it's time for you to help people? When did you start seeing it like that?
Well, I kept seeing like, throughout the years, like I would know, my house was always haunted. So I could, every night, like this man always came to my doors. For some reason, he couldn't cross the threshold, but he would come, I could see him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I knew something was up. Like my family was experiencing stuff. Like, and I have my sister who's a straight conservative, doesn't believe in this crap. Will always tell you the story that went on in our home. But as I started getting old, like at school, like they wanted to skip a grade.
Wow.
Go up a grade, because one day, I kind of zoned out, and the teacher was asking the answers, and I would just know, and I would say it. That's the ability I have. Like people say they have their guides. Tell them I really don't have a guide. I have a protector.
Mm-hmm.
I get information dropped in my head, and I know it. So every time the teacher said something, so they thought I was like really smart. They fooled, but now I'm getting old. I'm going into my teenage years. Like then I actually thought I had superpowers, because I would say something and it would happen, not realizing.
Well, I mean, it kind of is a superpower if you think about it. I mean, it really is.
I didn't realize like how I knew this stuff. I just thought I was making it happen because I said it.
Oh, I get it.
I'm really young. I'm probably like 15. I'm hanging out with my girlfriends, and I had a crush on this boy, and he was older, and he had, drove a really nice car. And I'm like, I wish Jimmy would pull up and say, hey, you want to go for a ride? And I'm telling you now, a minute later, this guy pulls up. He goes, hey, you want to go for a ride? And my girlfriend's like, you're a witch.
Oh man.
Now wait, so now all right, so now I go see a psychic. And this psychic tells me, oh, you have the gift. And I'm like, I don't think so. And she's like, here, she gave me a deck of tarot cards. And I'm like, all right, I'll play around with it. I started playing around. I never learned the meanings of the cards, but from just flipping the cards, I could feel things from it. So I'm like, oh my God, I really can read. I'm like, I was telling my friend's family, I'm like, all right, somebody in the family was just diagnosed with cancer, but it's gonna turn out that it's okay, and it happened. Yeah, so it was crazy,
It's funny too, because the people that of course we know that there are a lot of people out there who try and say they do what you do that is fraudulent, but most of the people who are genuine, they don't know the meaning of the cards. Like you just said, they just do it, and whatever they feel comes forward, and it's spot on. It's
like,
so wild.
My show, like I barely touch my cards. The only time I'll touch my cards if I need more information.
Right, but that's even a step further. A lot of people still use the cards, but you don't even need them, which is completely awesome. I mean, that's a level in its own. You know what I mean?
That's why I like it to drop fast. That's why did you see how fast I was going? I'm like, all right, give me a question.
Absolutely. And just so everybody knows that April does her live feeds, I believe it's Tuesdays at 8 p.m., correct?
Yes. On Paranormal Warehouse. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also, we're not censored here at all. So you can say whatever you want. You can curse, you can do whatever you want to do.
Now.
So do I. Don't worry about it. I try and be as good as I can, but probably not. It usually happens. I slip up, but
a comedy show with my mouth.
It makes it real. It makes it fun. This is this is what we want. We don't want.
I'm really down to earth. I'm I'm an Italian mom.
I just to let everybody know too. Italian is awesome. I'm Italian, raised Italian. My last name is not indicative of it, but I'm mostly Italian. And the other thing is that we actually had a conference the other day, me and you saw something with me here, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like, what do you mean? You see somebody like my sister?
Yeah. So let me tell you something. That's another thing I got to tell you. That I tell all my clients is when I read, I will not remember what I said to you, and for a while there, I thought maybe I was getting Alzheimer's, or dementia. And then my mentor, she's like, April, those aren't your thoughts. They're being dropped in, So I said, oh my God, that makes sense. I'm like, thank God, because I thought I was like losing it. So like my clients will go, and I'll just talk to a client because I have clients that come to me sometimes weekly, monthly, bi-weekly.
Awesome.
I will not remember our conversation. And they're like, do you remember you said this? It happened. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I can't remember.
Think about it too. Is if you're helping so many people, how much could you possibly remember at one time?
I do so many readings a day. I'm like, I do readings every day. My events, my show. Last time I was out to 2:30 in the morning. I did a private event for a family of a whole group. Yeah, so I was exhausted. Wild. I went to bed at 3, but I was up at 6 because I like to get up early to go work out, You know
what they say, right? They say that the most intelligent people are up at 3 a.m. That's what they say. Yeah. I'm up at 3 a.m. all the time, and that's because I want to be intelligent, not because maybe not because I am, because I think if I stay up till 3 in the morning, maybe it classifies me as intelligent. No, but
it's fun. Yeah, because I'll talk to a lot of people like at 3 a.m. That'll message me.
So, of course,
I'm Italian. Oh, look at all the Italians.
That's it. You see, we got cugines out there. That's what we got. Yeah. But it's funny, that's a New York, New Jersey thing, and I think it's phenomenal too how we talk compared to other people. But so to get back to it, I mean, what was some of the most wildest things that happened while you were doing a reading or while during an investigation? Some of the most wild. Give us a rundown of the most wildest instances that you've had. Besides the elemental and the, that pattern that you saw.
Well, there was I'm going to tell you one reading that I had one time, and it's not always like this, but I was actually, I do the New Jersey Power Unity event. And I did that my first year, and I had this young woman come in, and it was horrifying to me because I never experienced something like this, but I started picking up a little blonde boy that was passed, and he showed me at the hospital, and it was horrible, but he was like bleeding out. And now he's blonde hair, blue-eyed boy. This woman in front of me had dark hair, dark eyes. So I'm like, I don't know who this is. And she starts crying, and she said, that's my son. She said he had this rare disease where he would bleed out, and that's how he passed. And then he started giving me information. He was, it's funny, and I'm wearing this shirt because I'm wearing a Superman shirt.
Somebody loves your shirt too.
Yeah. So the little boy was showing me that he would dress up as Superman, and he had this rare disease, and he was telling me that he was famous. He was on TV, and he showed me that other people were dressed as superheroes, and he has the police cars. And it turns out like his dad was a police officer, and they all dressed up in the costumes for him and like did a parade for him.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm going to cry because they did it after he passed too.
Oh.
So I know. So it was so sad. I'm going to cry because it was.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring that out of you like that.
I haven't thought about that in so long. And the weird thing is that I'm wearing my Superman shirt. Like, how weird is that? It's like he made me wear it, you know?
Well, that's one thing I say is there's no such thing as coincidence, you know, and hopefully he's watching right now and he's appreciating that you telling his story and getting it out to people, you know?
Yeah, it's funny because he kept saying to me, I'm famous too. I was on TV too, like you. And but he kept asking for Gigi, and Gigi was his sister.
Oh man, that's heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking. I'm telling you, I don't think I could read after that. I was just like, I was done. It was emotional.
That's wild. Well, that's a good segue though. Let's talk about how you got into the TV, how you got into, doing the episodes of Holzer Files and
you know what? It was just a freak thing. They contacted me. The producer contacted me. I didn't even ask. I guess they heard about me or what have you. And they just asked me if I ever had an experience at the Lambert Castle here in New Jersey. And I'm like, no, but now I'm picking up stuff. I said, but I could tell you what I'm seeing. So I'm just, so I said, I started picking up. I said, I'm seeing a woman in white. And I said, I see her like coming out of the trees, and she's going towards like a stone wall, and she's going towards a man. But when she gets to the man, disappears, and I see her like she's distraught, like trying to look for him. So she disappears. So freaky. So I said, all right, now I said I'm going to go to the castle, and I'm going to see what I pick up. So I drive to the castle. It had already closed. So I couldn't go inside. I'm walking around, and lo and behold, I find the tree and that stone wall that's around the property.
Right.
Yeah. So now I'm walking around the property, and all of a sudden I hear this woman crying, like uncontrollably crying. And it was heart-wrenching. And myself being a mom, I'm saying, oh my God, this woman lost a child. I know that cry. All of a sudden, now here remotely, I'm being brought into the bedroom, and I'm right below the window, and I'm brought into this room, and there's a woman sitting on the bed, and she's in a black dress with the white collar, the hair back in the bun. She's an older woman, and she looks up at me, and she goes, I'm not who they think I am. So, yeah, my story's a little different from their story on the show, but
of course.
Both make sense. There's nothing, scripted or anything.
Well, it's all about perception. I mean, they're doing their story, and then they chop it up for TV.
Yeah.
When you were actually there experiencing it, of course, there's going to be discrepancies because they're not seeing it from your angle.
Yeah, but the whole thing is nobody knew I was a psychic. That's the whole thing. Nobody on the show knew.
That's wild.
One person that brought me on knew that I was a psychic. So anyway, so now I'm in this room with this woman, and I told her so when she said that to me, I said, oh, they think you're the woman in white. You're not the woman in white, in the white dress. So now, all right. So fast forward, I go on location to the place to go film. And the first person I meet is Shane Pittman. He was awesome. I love him. He showed me where all the food was and all the goodies.
Perfect. That's the best part, right?
You are awesome. He hooked me up with the snacks. So now they're bringing me up. I never got to meet Cindy. I met Cindy like a month afterwards. But anyway, so they're bringing me upstairs to meet Dave Schrader. And I'm going around the corner, and also as I'm turning with the producer, there's a picture on the windowsill. And I said, oh, shit. I said to the producer, I said, that's her. That's the girl I saw. And he goes, do you know who that is? And he goes, that's Isabella Lambert, their daughter. So I said, oh my God, that's who I saw. So that was cut out. That was cut out of the episode, but
That's
it was
wild.
Yeah.
You see, you're telling stories. I got my vape. I got my coffee. I'm sitting back enjoying you telling your stories. I'm just hanging out. I'm not even hosting the show right now.
I need something to drink, some wine and a cigar right now.
There you go. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I love cigars.
I like cigars. I don't drink, so coffee is my crux, you know.
Yeah.
But so it's exceptional that we keep talking about the gift, and I'm going to keep coming back to it because I really do admire what you do. And you said it was an honor for you to be here. It is actually an honor to have you here and share this time with us. You're so incredible at what you do, and watching your live readings gives me chills. When I mean chills, like
I have to go back and watch them because I don't know what happened. Some things will stand out, like we were talking earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to diagnose, any type of illness. I mean, I do medical. I can pick up medical problems with people, but mental illness, like I was telling you about that gentleman, I didn't want to embarrass him and bring that out on this, the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll gracefully escort them off,
Absolutely. Now, it's just gonna be a kind of an odd question, but knowing that you help people, like I know, of course, when you help people, what is like the emotion that you feel when you get that yeah moment, like nice, I really did something for this person and really helped them. How does that affect you personally?
Of course it feels great, but sometimes I feel frustrated too afterwards because I can't tell you how many times I've cried after my show, and I would go to my husband. I'm like, there was so many people on, and I couldn't help them all. I'm like, I should go longer. I wish I would have made my show longer that I could help more people. And I feel so bad because I go back and I see the questions, and some are heart wrenching.
Mm-hmm.
So it hurts that I can't help everyone. And then I gotta tell you, and I'm also being overwhelmed with messages now, and text messages, emails, and messages on my website, and just everywhere. And I'm like, I can't get to all of them. I'm like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I'm going to try the best I can. And this is why I don't sleep either, because I'm up reading people's stories, because I will contact certain people.
Of course.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's truly admirable what you do, but I know that there's like another side to it too, where it genuinely affects you as a person, not just, as a medium, but like your emotions, that you're experiencing so much stuff. Like so many different things and so many different, so many different situations that it's got to be taxing. It's got to be taxing on you.
Yeah, it does. Like, you know what? It's weird because sometimes you take on their illnesses. You could feel like, so it's hard. And when I'm feeling them close to me, I feel like I can't breathe. It's like having a panic attack.
Right. And that's why, I like to tell people these things, because when they see somebody with your gift, sometimes they want answers and they want all of it. And it doesn't always come that way, but people have to understand that it actually does something to you as well, which is something I wanted to highlight, Yeah,
I'm physically worn out, and plus on top of it, I can't sleep. So my body's worn out. So it sucks. And another thing like that people don't understand is like they think I'm getting clear-cut pictures. I'm not. Sometimes I'll hear the words. It's not all the time. And other times they're showing me images, and it's like me putting a puzzle together. I'm trying to decipher these images they're showing me. Like one thing I was doing a reading for this woman, and I know there was a male coming in. And now, I used to work for the police. So now all of a sudden I'm seeing one of the police officers I work for, but he was in civilian clothing. So I'm like, why is he in civilian clothing? I've never seen him out of uniform. I'm like, why are they showing me this? I'm like, I'm racking my brains. I'm like, and then all of a sudden I hear, like, I guess they're getting frustrated with me. They're like, hey, stupid, say his name. So I said, oh. So I go, Bruce. And she goes, oh. That's the guy that was coming through. His name was Bruce. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I have to piece this puzzle together. So
That's crazy. It's almost like its own language. It's almost
yeah,
like its own language in this. Yeah, it's like watching what is it? The Da Vinci Code, where they're deciphering things from symbols.
exactly. So like, it's hard. It's like, playing chess, putting a puzzle together every day, doing these readings. They're not always that clear cut. So, but
Of
it's kind of
course.
fun too. It's challenging, so it's fun. But I had somebody like show me something in cartoon pictures one time. It was like,
That's wild.
I think because the man that passed away was this girl's father. So the last time that he passed when she was a little girl. So he was like relating to her as a little girl, but it was so cute. And he was a police officer, and he was showing me a picture like he was a police officer, and the Hudson Rivers between them, because he was a New York police officer and she was in New Jersey, and he's a little girl cartoon character. And I said, show me you separated, like he's in New York in his police uniform, and here you are in New Jersey. And she said, he was a New York police officer, but it was in a cartoon. It was in crayon.
That's wild.
I
That's
know,
wild.
isn't it crazy? It's like, how do they do this? Like, I don't know.
Oh, it's gotta be wild. And just so everybody knows, if you could do me a favor this evening, please share this out, because Facebook is limiting the amount of shares that we're actually able to get. And this woman's incredible story and her incredible gift needs to touch and reach as many people as possible. So please do me that favor. Please share this out. Also, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. And you are ultimately the ones that we want to, to project these messages to and help to bring light to you guys as well, which is another reason why we will be doing some readings a little bit later. Thank you, April, for agreeing to that. That's so nice of you, and it's so amazing. We do have
I'm reading the comments.
You got the question coming up. We got a question from Sandy. It says, do you pick up on things with people just watching you? She's just curious.
Oh, just watching me? You know what? When I first started doing this, I started doing it on Instagram. So I had a smaller audience, and I would actually meditate and I would start writing things down. So when I went on, I would say, hey, I was picking up David, he passed from car accident, whatever. Now that I'm on Paranormal Warehouse, it's a huge audience.
Mm-hmm.
So I have so many questions. I don't have time. Like, I have so many questions coming at me. It's hard for me to just pick up from, like I used to do, like just pick random people out. Now there's too many people asking questions, like shooting questions at me,
So
like,
you got to focus it, right? You got to focus the energy in.
So now what I do is I bring them on live so I can look at them and try to feel their energy, because I usually feel the energy. I hear words. I know it sounds weird.
It doesn't, because it's your it's your craft. You know better than anybody what it would be, And listen, guys, we're going to be doing that later. We're going to have you come into the studio, and she is going to give you the reading face to face, which is going to be phenomenal. Trust me, I've seen her do this. It'll raise the hairs on the back of your neck. And if you're out there and you need help, this is a turn for her to help you. And then, of course, during that time, you will be a fan of her when she does this for you. I promise you that. We have a couple of questions.
All right. Can I do something quick? When we do the readings, can we do it in question form so it can go, like, because I know the people who come on my show and they're like, I want a general reading. I'm like, I could stay here with you all night.
Whatever you want to do. You tell them how you want to do it.
We'll do it in form of question so everybody gets a turn.
Gotcha.
Fair. Okay.
Here's a question we have. It says, do people who pass from heroin overdose make it to the light?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you, my father died of a heroin overdose. And he crossed over. And, listen, there's many levels in heaven. Even hell is not like what we think it is. But it's not nice. It's not pleasant. But there's different levels that we work at to get there. But God takes us in. He takes us all in. We're all God's children. Even the people that don't believe, you might start off slow and you'll believe when you cross over. It's a beautiful place, but it's a learning experience. If we did something bad to somebody, what we do is we're actually doing a life review where we see how we affected somebody positively and negatively, and how it affected more people down the road. and we learn a lesson from that. So it's a hard thing to watch, you know.
I truly agree with you on that. You know, everybody, it's always
like here. Don't you have regrets? Like I remember, I still have.
everybody does.
I'm looking for this one girl that I went to school with, and I'm usually not judgy of anyone, and I love everyone. And at the time, I didn't invite her to my party, and it bothers me to this day. And I'm looking for her. Like this, I was like probably, I don't know, 8 years old, and it still to this day bothers me that I try to search for her online.
You see, this is something that I truly pride myself on and live by, is that, you know, everybody's made mistakes in their life. As long as you make a conscious effort to do the right thing day to day and help as many people as you can along the way, hopefully when it comes to that point where it's either up or down, you'll figure out, you know, they'll know that you've done everything in your life to help and to be somebody of love and, you know, and light, which is why I, you know, usually when psychics come on, I always have my marquee saying love and light, because this is what we want to project to people on a daily basis. And that's part of the reason why we do this show too, is to project that love and light to people so they get a feel for all these different types of subjects, people, and, you know, it really opens the eyes of many people too. And I love that. I love that. You know, thank you, Lori. That was actually a great question. This is more of a statement as opposed to a question. It says, people don't understand how much energy it takes. It can drain you. You have to watch your immune system.
Yeah, I take very good care of myself. You know, too, I have to protect myself. But you know what? I live, I think, a fairly good life where I try not to hurt anyone. So I try to help as many people that where I can go to sleep at night.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm no angel.
Nobody is.
You know, but I try to do the right thing, you know, and I work out every day. You know, that really keeps my mind steady. Meditation, you know.
One thing that people have brought to my attention that I actually live by too is your pineal gland. You know, the pineal gland, what happens is we eat a lot of GMOs. We eat a lot of foods and stuff and even the water has fluoride. What fluoride does is it calcifies your pineal gland.
And that's, I actually, well, I can't give too much information, but I am a shaman. So I had that worked on too. So there's a thing that we do as shamans to keep that clean and work properly. So
I have a method that I use via a substance that makes it actually happen for me.
Yeah, what is that?
It's called nascent iodine. Nascent iodine is found in rare earth crystals.
Yes, I think I've heard of this.
Yes, they get it in Japan and China, and it's about 7,000 feet into the earth. So they dig them up and then they grind them up and they make like a dropper. And you can find it on a lot of different places like GNC and all those places. And what it does is it actually decalcifies it. Yes. But I'm gonna warn you, the first 2 weeks you feel stupid. While it's decalcifying, you feel almost
you feel it.
Oh, out of your mind. And then eventually, like when that 2-week period hits, you get this break. And then I swear to God, it felt like I could see 16 steps ahead of what I was doing, you know?
Yeah.
It's incredible. Plus, like you said, meditation daily, just connecting to your higher self and to get into that mode where you're relaxed. You got to remember, everything is fed off vibrations, you know, and I'm not going to, I know you know this.
Vibration.
Everything from the tables to the rocks to the trees. When you get that vibration and you start to get anxiety or fear, it lowers. It lowers, and then there's dark energy that feeds off of you.
That's like, you know, when to connect with spirit, you have to be at a certain vibration. And that's what I had to study and practice these different vibrations and learn all the different vibrations and the sounds. And some of the sounds drive me crazy. That's why the spirit box, the noise of that will like drive me insane.
Oh yeah, sometimes it does. Now that's going to actually segue into my next question, which is for the people out there who are just beginning. Do you have any tips or ways to help them hone their skills a little bit?
Well, we all have some type of gift. It's you know, like eating clean, exercise and meditation. Do not force it because it does not happen overnight. For people, like it will take years of study and conditioning yourself. It does not happen overnight. That's the only thing. You have to put the time into it.
Absolutely. I classify myself as somewhat empathic, only because, like, if I walk into a room, I can feel energy and the way, like, the mood.
Can I tell you something? I'm going to say something that everyone's going to hate me for, and I always say this. Everybody's an empath. It's it's a human emotion. Because I hate when people use that word. It's used incorrectly. You're feeling energy, of course, but people say, like, I can feel somebody's, like how they're feeling. But we're humans. Of course we can feel that.
Of
So
course.
I hate that word is so overused,
Right.
Empathy. Of course we feel empathy towards someone if they're sad. You can always sense that. Even, like me, I rarely will show if my emotions. My husband can tell, my best friend can tell, my daughter can tell. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's empathy. It's different from feeling the energy. So I think you're using the wrong word. You are picking up on energy.
It actually goes as far as for me to tell whether a person is going to be a good person
Yeah.
or somebody to watch out for,
Yeah.
I don't know what that classifies as,
Well, that can classify as clairvoyance too.
you think so?
Yeah, you're reading the energy.
Hmm.
And it's funny, everyone, I don't tell you another thing. I am not on all the time. When I go
Nobody
out,
is.
I am off. So I like people right away. I love everybody. I will love you right away. Unless, let me tell you something. My one protector that I have with me, she will let me know somebody bad. And I've had that a couple of times. But I've misjudged friendships too. We're human. We're human.
Everybody does. Everybody makes mistakes too, and it
If I turn on, you're gonna see me. I kind of zone out. You can ask Ron and Lourdes about that. I kind of go like zone out. Like, I'm like,
well, hopefully I see it firsthand when we do an investigation. I'm so down with that. You
oh
have no
yeah.
idea. You have no
Oh my
idea.
God. At the Shanley, the first time I was there, I just gotta tell you. Can I tell you the story?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We were in this room and everyone's there and they're trying to contact this guy and the kids, and I am like honed in on. I have to go down the hallway. I feel like something pulling me there. So I walk down there. My friend Patrick's with me. Thank God he came in with me. I walk into this room and all of a sudden this woman is screaming at the top of her lungs. And she's like, ah, ah, and she's screaming out the window and she's screaming. And I'm like, I turn to Patrick and I'm like, don't you hear her? And he said, nobody can hear her. She's like deafening. All of a sudden she tries to jump me. I've never had that happen before.
Wow.
This bitch is trying to jump. I'm like, oh, no, you're not. No, you're not.
No, I'm from Jersey, baby. Get out of my way.
I ain't coming in here.
We're a different breed. Back up. Back up.
But yeah, so because I felt her, like, I could actually feel her trying to get inside me. I'm like, oh, hell no, you're not coming in here.
Wow.
But I went down to talk to Kelly, the owner. And I'm like, there's a woman up there screaming her head off. She's screaming out the window. I'm like, how could nobody hear this? She goes, a woman, I forgot the whole story. But a woman did go crazy, and all she would do was scream all day long. And she would scream out the window, and she would just like run around the room screaming.
That's wild.
I know, it was pretty wild.
That's like my saying too. Everything's wild. I don't know why I say it, but I think that things are so wild. Like, it baffles me,
It is. Isn't that crazy? Like,
it really is. And, have you ever had anything like attached to you in the beginning when you started doing these investigations? Has anything ever tried to like attach itself to you?
You know what? I never had that problem. I know I hear people talk about that all the time. And I'm like, no, but I experienced as a child, this thing that did attach itself to me growing up. This freaking thing that would pop up like when something bad was going on, like in my life, like when, when you had snags in your life, and that's when it would show up. It's like the energy, see, negative energy.
It kicks you when you're down all the time. Yeah. It feeds off that.
I would hear it and like, I could feel like shaking on me and it would say my name in my ear. And then now it started to inhabit my, my dreams.
Oh God.
Yes. Yeah, so now it would, in my dream, it would chase me, but it would chase me, and like the one time it would chase me, and all of a sudden I get to my house and I call the police, and the police come, right? So as soon as I'm about to wake up, as I look at the police officer, that thing went inside the police officer. So I'm leaving the dream. It made it out alive. So then we go on to another dream. It's another person, and it jumps another person, and continues and continues. So now fast forward, I meet my future husband, and in the dream, and now I'm having one of the dreams, and it goes after my husband. And
Oh man.
I'm like, no. And I wound up killing it in my dream.
Oh my God, that's wild.
I know. And that's how I
wild.
got rid of it. So
Oh, that's you know what? That's something crazy.
sounds crazy, people. I know this sounds insane.
No, when I say it sounds crazy, it's just because like to
Yeah.
think about being in that situation
Yeah.
would make me like I don't even know what I would do. Like I would be lost. Like I'd be like, oh my God, like what do I do here? You know?
Yeah. And hence that's why I hate to sleep too, because I was always now I don't dream anymore. I have no dreams.
Really? It's
Yeah.
funny you say that because lately, like over the last, let's say 6 years, now that I've been doing research constantly, I don't know if it's because I'm lightly sleeping, but I don't dream a lot. But when I do, it's almost like it's either no dreams at all or it's super vivid, like super on point.
But do you think like I don't have any prophetic dreams, but I have friends that are not psychics that have prophetic dreams, and it's crazy because the stuff happens. For me, it's just I could tell, it's like I could decipher it. It's like, you know, my subliminal mind from the day overflowing into
Mhm.
sleep. So my 2 hour sleep at night, you know.
Right? I've actually had dreams that came true down to like the tension in the room with exact things. It started when I was like in I want to say like third grade. I had this dream that we were playing football at recess, which we did a lot. But what I dreamed was that the heavier set kid hit this skinny kid and they collided,
Oh,
and the kid broke his arm. It happened exactly like that.
oh
Exactly
my
like that.
See, well, that's a form of being a psychic. You know, oh my God.
I can't do it now. It hasn't happened in a long time, but
Yeah.
then it really I remembered it like it boggled my mind when it happened.
Edgar Cayce, that's what I was trying to think. The sleeping prophet, you know?
Yep.
That's how he read. He went to sleep. But
That's
I
crazy.
have two close friends that are not psychics that have prophetic dreams.
That's funny how like the scale like it like you said, everybody's capable of it. It just to get to that point, you know, like of some sort of like you said, clairvoyance in a sense of seeing things. It's all about vibrations and being open, you know?
Yeah.
Now, do you have like a process when you're getting ready to do it, right? Let's say you're about to go on an investigation. Is there a process that you do getting ready?
Yeah, I do I prepare myself, and I use my, you know, my shaman ritual that I'll do for myself to really protect myself, because some places I like the Hinsdale house.
Mhm.
Holy crap, like I really got to lock down before going there.
Right.
That place is crazy because that will affect people. Whoever's going to go to the Hinsdale, if you're a newbie, do not go there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Like go to the Shanley Hotel first, you know?
Right, right. Tell us a little bit about the shamanistic side too of what it means to be a shaman and the things that you do as a shaman.
The It's funny because my mentor, I was actually contacted her to learn something else, like, and I wound up going into the because she's a shaman chief, and wound up taking all the course and all, you know, doing all the rites of it. And the reason is because I want to help people. So
Mhm.
that's our job as a shaman. We are here to heal and help people, and that's my whole job. And I cannot ever hurt someone or use it to harm, which we would never do anyway, and we couldn't. But I would be kicked out of the tribe. No. And she will find out, my chief. But
That's
no,
wild.
yeah, we have special gifts that we can do to heal people, and also, you know, to help. So, and we can do this remotely, which I do for a lot of people that don't even know I do it for them, you know. So, but I feel like as shamans, we are like the warriors that go in, and when everything's going really bad in the world, we're actually working behind the scenes to make things right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're working.
Have you ever healed anybody with like your touch, with your hands on them?
No, but my chief says I could do that. I'm like scared to do that, but I can feel illnesses or if there's something wrong.
Right, right. It was a couple of times that like I focused my energy on my girlfriend, and I've
Yeah,
healed like a headache or a sore, but
exactly. And you
nothing
can do it.
serious.
I know. I
Nothing serious.
actually think I probably will wind up doing that. I don't at some point. I don't feel like it's yet.
Right. Well, it took
It's
me a while too, because
what
like,
like guys, listen to me. Put your hands together like this far apart. You feel that energy.
of
It's
course you can. I'm
now,
doing it right now.
yeah. You feel that. But hold your hand up to somebody else's hand. You feel that energy. You're getting in their energy. It's crazy. Like people will say like my hands turn red when I start to read. I actually start to sweat when I read too. So like Tyler Henry. You ever see Tyler Henry?
Yep.
He sweats like a pig, and I'm like, I feel you, honey. I feel you, because we do. We just sweat. Our energy level is so high, and it's our healing energy too. So, but I think eventually I will go that route. It just that's gonna take a lot up of my life, because if I start to heal and this works, which I think it will, do you know how bombarded I will get?
Of course. And
And
that's one of the
I
things
have
that affected
my
me too.
family.
When I would heal her, I didn't know how to dispel it. I
Yeah.
took it into myself. So it took me a while to get to how like to dispel it somewhere else.
Oh my God. Well, see, that's as shamans, that's what we do. We take it into ourselves. We are trained to take it in, which basically is called hucha, and we take that in, but we know how to dispel it. We dispel things the correct way, because you can dispel things back into the earth and transmute it, and it'll take out all the negativity and put it back into the universe as positive energy. We're recycling.
Mhm.
Oh, wait.
That's Ronnie. He said at the Shanley Hotel, a FLIR thermal camera captured April's energy rising from atop her head.
That was my favorite thing. He knows I love that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
AKA classified wild. That's
Yeah.
wild.
because I can feel my energy go into a cone. Like I'm seeing it. So one day they put the camera on me, and they're like, holy shit, your like energy is rising up, like all the way up. And I'm like,
That's
oh
so
my God, that's
crazy.
exactly what I'm doing.
That's so
And now
crazy.
everybody has the FLIR camera. I want to get one. I'm like, put the FLIR camera on me. It's like my parlor trick now.
That's
Hey, Dad,
cool.
watch this.
That's so cool. We have two big comments here that I want to bring up, and it says, it's Lori saying, I'm relating too much of what you are talking about. I have just started looking into my beliefs after a psychics class. Sorry. No, physics, right? I can't read tonight. I started relating everything to energy and vibrations. I believe in love and light, and it's taking time to put the words to everything else. Tonight has been a blessing, and I'm not sure I want to see any ghosts.
Oh,
Laura,
it's not that bad, honey. I'm telling you, it sounds scary. Well, as a child, that's why. Listen, my big thing is I want to help children. So if there are children in a house being haunted, I will be there. And also, you know what? People contact me to come to their homes. I do not charge. This is
That's
all. Yeah, I will never charge anyone to help them.
that just goes to show how much you really are out there to help the people, and it is so admirable. I admire that so much. You have no idea.
Thank you.
You have no idea.
I gotta tell you, I charge for my readings.
Mhm.
When I tell you, I'm probably the cheapest one, and I'm good at what I do, because I've seen some prices. I'm not here to rip off anyone. I make it very reasonable. But I do got to eat.
Of course. This is a gift.
Trying to put my daughter in school.
We've got another big one. It said, I had reoccurring dreams as a child, but the weirdest thing that ever happened to me as a child when I woke up one night was to find my dead cousin, my dad's niece, and my grandfather, my mom's dad, both standing at the foot of my bed. She looked angelic. He looked exhausted and angry. I was young and it freaked me out.
Oh my God. So Jill, have you had any other experiences? Because, regular people do not see spirits. Like, not that anyone cannot do it, not that they're any different or there's some, but if you have mediumistic skills, you're able to see spirits, like Ron, like Lourdes, like you, us, people that are investigators that do this. We do this for a reason, because we had an experience. So most likely, all investigators are going to have some type of mediumistic skills, and that's why they're doing this, because they had an experience. But not everyone's going to see spirits, because they're around us all the time. There's residuals left over, like, because I'll see, like, because I see like sparks of light all the time, so I know it's spirit. So I'm like, something's going on.
Right. Ronnie called you his favorite cone head.
I love you, Ron.
Oh man. So that leads me to was something that one thing we talk about here is theories, and that's another good segue. I keep segueing into things as we talk about them, and
You're
I
good.
try. No. I like to get a story out of it. I like to make it a flowing story. But what is your theory or your belief? Where do these spirits come from? And how do they get here, and what is their purpose?
That the people that are left over, like that earthbound, and some are residuals. Ron, you can attest this. Like, some of the things that we're going to see, like somebody's doing repetitive, like we are witnessing a blip in time where we keep seeing people, like, say, walking from the kitchen to the bathroom, and they're not noticing, the other people around. That's a residual. But the earthbounds, like, I want to give you a perfect example. This home that I went to, the lady had contacted me. This is another creepy story. This lady contacted that she was having an issue in her home. So as I'm on the phone with her, I am seeing what's in the home, and those creepy crawler women that crawl on their back, and
Oh God, yep.
That my biggest fear. I don't want to see that. It just grosses me out. So that's, I see crawling on her wall and on the ceiling, knocking things down. So anyway, I get to the house. Thank you. I just text my husband for water. Thank you. My husband brought me
Awesome. That was awesome. Very good. Thank you, April's husband. And it's nice to see you and meet you.
Yeah. So anyway, I get in the house. I'm saying, like, all right, this person's knocking things off the walls. I said, you hear knocking on your living room floor because she's crawling on the ceiling. I don't want to tell them this because it's going to freak them the hell out. So I go down the basement, and I'm walking around, and all of a sudden I'm like, who's Brian? I said, there's a fireman here. Then I turn around. There's a fireman suit. Their friend Brian had just passed away. That was a fireman. He was actually there to help. But anyway, getting back to this woman, I finally cornered her. I was able to talk to her. And I brought her back to her human form where I could talk to her. What happened was, she had mental illness, and she lived with her husband in that house, and they loved each other so much. It broke his heart. He had to sell the house to put her into a facility. And he sold the house so he could afford to put her away, that she would live a good life. Mm-hmm. She came back looking for him. So what happens when they don't cross over, they start going crazy,
Right.
They start, in that movie, What Dreams May Come.
I was about to ask you that too. Like, what happens when they stay here too long?
They start going crazy. That's why they're able to take on personas. Like, I guess, like, in reality, how we do. We have our personas on social media. They have their personas in afterlife, and they can look really scary. They can make themselves, like, elongated with, devil heads, to scare us because they're afraid of us.
Right. Maybe they get a kick out of it. Maybe it's like fun to them. Like, that's their entertainment,
We like to put our filters on, you know what I'm saying? So these people, that's their filter,
Is that the classical filter or is that the glossy filter? You know what I mean? That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
So
but it's creepy out there, because the haunted Shanley Hotel, I did encounter one negative spirit there, but nobody else will. I'm friends with Kelly. She took us to a place where it is, and the public doesn't go there. So there's some creepy things. And when I was saying elongated body, that's exactly what I saw. And this guy had a devil's head there. It was
Wow, that's
creepy.
so crazy. That's so
And
crazy.
he messed me up. He messed me up. He messed with my energy.
Of course. I mean, if when you get nervous, of course your energy is going to go up and down. It just happens.
No, he actually, his energy connected with my energy, and he was vibrating at this weird rate that it
Mhm.
screwed up my energy.
Oh,
That
wow.
I was sick for a week, like nauseous, like I couldn't. My head wasn't straight. Like I had to I felt like zzz, like this, like for a week. So I
Right.
had to cancel all my appointments.
That goes into another question.
Back.
That goes to another question. Like, is there a lingering effect from doing these investigations and having so many entities around you? Is there like a lingering effect to you besides, of course, being tired, but
Yeah.
sort of like a mental drain where you have to like decompress one day and just like have a spa day or something, like just to get out of it?
Well, we do call it the paranormal hangover at the investigator. Ron, you can attest to that. That's our term, right? Wait, I remember that night. Yes, Ron. Ron. Remember we were there? Oh my God, what else? There was things being Ron, I don't know if you got to see that because we were kind of in the dark. Something was throwing like spitballs at me.
Mm-hmm. I
And
think you told me about that.
Ron was in front of me. Ron and Lourdes were in front of me. There was nobody else in the room with us. And all of a sudden I'm like feeling like ting, like things hitting like the side of my face. I'm like, son of a bitch. That's why I like the Shanley, because it's like playful. Like actually like spitting spitballs at me.
That's crazy.
So yeah, so we were talking. Oh yeah, the lingering effect. So yeah, like it's just I always protect myself, but there's some places that are just really taxing. And Ron, you can attest to this, the Hinsdale house. You have to be well prepared to go to this place. You have to be a seasoned investigator. I would not take children there and anyone young there. And it's not so much the haunting or seeing apparitions. It is the energy of this place. It's in the ground. It's in the walls. It's everywhere. And you can feel it. As soon as you walk, you could just feel it. And it'll affect your energy.
There's something else there. There's like a something in the ground, right? Like some kind of.
Well, there's a lot of history there. I don't know all, but wait, I'll tell you. Before I went there physically,
Mhm.
I was actually meditating, getting ready for a reading, and all of a sudden, zoom! Here I am at the Hinsdale house again.
Wow.
And I'm in the backyard. I've never been there. And I remember telling everyone, I remember telling Ron, all of a sudden there was thousands of Indians and an Indian chief right in the middle. They were on the property line of the Hinsdale, and behind them was woods. And they would not cross onto the property.
Oh, wow.
And he was telling me the land is tainted, but he protected me when I went there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, it turns out there's a lot of history with Indians there.
Oh.
But I always had this connection. I don't have guides that are like, people say I have, Tontos with me. I don't have that. But I have a connection, I think, because I'm a shaman, so they respect that I do that. But I always had that with them. I think I was always destined to become a shaman, so it's crazy, but they protected me.
That's so cool. And Ron, in case you weren't listening before, you, Lourdes, me, and April, and whoever else we can get, we're doing an investigation, buddy.
Yeah.
We're getting it in, and we're gonna go crazy. Now, just to let everybody also know, is that I sent out the link for the live readings. We're going to be doing them in a couple of minutes because we're probably like the last half hour, if that's all right. Is that okay? Yeah. Or whenever we can get somebody into the studio. Yeah, otherwise, we'll keep talking. I sent the link out in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube. So what you're going to do is, if you have to open up your Chrome browser, and you're going to want to hit the link, and it's going to bring you into the studio. At that point, you're going to hit enter studio, and you're going to be in the studio with us, and I'll bring you in if you so want a reading. If not, we're going to talk the rest of the time, and it's going to be what it is.
Ron, where do you think we should take Rob for the first investigation? But where?
Somebody said I wouldn't even step foot in the Hillsdale house.
Yeah, you know what? I got to tell you, it's bad energy. It's like, it is heavy. Yeah. All right. We're not taking him there. Exactly.
Yep.
The Shanley Hotel.
Yep. That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's exactly what April said too, Ron. I mean, I'm ready, man. Let's get it.
Please.
You better bring that special EVP box too, because we're going
Oh my
in.
God. Ron, that thing is amazing.
Oh, I know. We did the whole, like, a lot of the episode on it the last time, explaining it.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me because it's an old style being brought back, but
Yeah.
improved because he's innovating it and bringing it to the forefront. And I love the fact that it's not
mind with his knowledge. It blows your friggin' mind.
It really is. He knows all the history of it, which is amazing because you need that history to make it, how do I say this? To produce the product that you want. He's got all the history and the knowledge leading up to where it is now.
Yeah.
And
well, you have to go to the New Jersey Paraunity Expo because he's going to be there with Lourdes. They're doing
when is that?
That is Ron, what is that? May 21st?
I'll be there. No problem. I'll be there.
Oh,
we'll all be there.
So friggin' awesome. I'll be there. I'm a civilian here. I'm on my own.
Awesome. But one of the things I like about his EVPs is that it's static as opposed to that blip, blip, blip you hear when like the radio goes through the FM dial. So it's like, to me, I can't like when I hear it, I just can't hear what they're saying. Like people say they hear things. Yeah. I just can't because I can't pick it up.
Yeah, me too. It throws me off. But Lourdes is like, wait, I heard something. Lourdes hears everything. And all of a sudden you'll play back and sure enough, and Lourdes will like, I just heard them say, hey, Mary May. And sure enough, we'll play it back. Nobody else heard it. We listened to it 3 times. Lourdes heard it. We'll play it back, and there it is. Hey, Mary May. She's just friggin' amazing.
That's wild. That's wild because, I mean, like, you have to have an ear for it. Honestly, you have to have an ear for it. I personally don't. But.
And guess what? That's why I was telling them. They're so trained in this, probably more well-trained than I am. That's clairsentience. So they have clairsentience because they can hear things so well. That's a form, of clairvoyance. We all have different levels of it.
Of course. We have another question. It says, where did you learn to be a shaman?
You know what? I kind of keep that private.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Yeah. That's my little, that's my private little world.
Of course.
Yeah, I went, I actually went to, I know there's a lot of people out there that teach a course. I found it by mistake that it was meant to be. And it was through somehow affiliated with the Holzer Files, how I got into this. And it was a weird way, like 6 degrees of separation.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you want to be taught by a chief that is affiliated with a tribe. Because I hear so many people, because I'm a shaman, I'm like, oh, what tribe? Well, I don't belong to a tribe. And I'm like, well, did you have your rites initiated? And they don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, no, honey. No. You'll know when you're a shaman because these rites, I can't tell you, but it's amazing, which gives us our power and our gifts.
It is truly amazing. I've done a lot of studying about shamanism and what it means and what their intentions are. And it's wild because, there's always good and bad. You hear the good and bad of everything, but their good outweighs the bad of things so much. It's just so awesome.
But we were the way I'm trained is I'm here to help. That's it. That's my job is to help people.
Well, of course, I'm talking about back in history when, not so much now, but history-wise. I'm a huge history buff. I look up everything 100 times over to try and find it,
Interviewing on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big history buff.
That's it.
He's going to blow your mind. He's friggin' amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I want to talk to him for hours.
I can't wait. It's going to be great. That's actually on Global Enlightenment Radio Network, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll be watching because he's amazing to talk to listen to.
Awesome. Sandy says, I loved watching the Holzer Files on the Travel Channel.
I know. Isn't it great? That is really a great show. It is so well done. And I got to tell you, there's nothing scripted or anything like that. It's just, I like the way they shorten everything. They get right to the point. They tell you the history. Cindy goes in and does her thing. Shane does his thing. Dave does his. Then they do the investigation. Then it's just great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to say to people is if you're watching on the RU Media Network, please go ahead and like and then share some of our stuff so we can get ourselves out there a little bit more.
Yeah, because listen, we got to fight Mark Zuckerberg, bastard. He's censoring us.
He really is. And it's not.
But yet, you know what? He's all for the politicians or which politician, and I don't care what side you're on, but just knock it off, Mark Zuckerberg. You know, it's like I feel like our community is being targeted, like our live videos are being affected.
It definitely is.
But the big businesses are taking over, so it's all about the cash.
Of course, it's funny because I've been watching the numbers all night while we're on right now.
Yeah,
and they go from 21 people down to 3. And then back up. It's almost like and it's funny too, because I go to these other groups and then I look for my broadcast.
Yeah.
And it's down, it's up. It's like, it's always in different places. It's never where you can find it right at the top. It's so weird.
I know. I noticed that last week on my last week's show. Like I told you, like I'll average, like anywhere from 4,000 to 8,000. And it was like, when I got done, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, 1.7. I'm like, what the hell happened? And I'm talking, to the owner of Paranormal Warehouse. I'm like, and then I'm looking at everyone's numbers. I'm like, what is going on? And he said, Facebook, October 1st changed something with the live videos. I said, what are they discriminating against the paranormal community? Because we're going to have to fight them.
Everybody. They're doing it against everybody. And it's weird too, because it's happening on YouTube as well. I went from like 156 subscribers back down to 142 in a night. You can't tell me that many people. I mean, if maybe somebody saw something they didn't like, if that's the case, I understand.
Like there's nothing controversial.
Right. Or one time I saw a video that I had, it had 58 views. Then it went back down to 13. And then it went back up to 58 and back down to 13. How does that work? Exactly. You're talking about 40 views at just a span of a couple of minutes.
Yeah, they must have started, but I know it was put into play October 1st.
Oh man, it's wild. I think people are a little nervous to get readings. I mean, if I'll go through it first, if you guys really, if anybody's nervous, I'll do a reading. I let her do a reading for me, just so
say here. Nobody wants to go on.
Get the cat out of the bag. You know what I mean? I think it's it could be nerves too. A lot of people are nervous.
Under RU Media Network. And the StreamYard link. Let's click on that. Could they click on it?
Yeah, they should be able to click on it. I'm going to put it out again. I'll put it out for a third time. And I'm watching it via...
We'll do you privately. Not that there's anything bad.
No. They should be able to click on it to go right into the studio. I can see it from there right now. So... sometimes people don't, I understand. Sometimes people don't want to hear it or have it.
I have on my show, they'll be sitting in a dark room. I'm like, that. It's okay. It's just hard, like when I'm type back and forth, or you don't have a way to get on camera. Okay.
You can still join via just the, like if you have a microphone or a phone even.
Yeah. Sandy, could you click on the link and let's see what happens? Lori,
I'm an introvert. Come on, Lori. You had some good stuff over there. I want to see you come on in. I would volunteer, but she knows me. Like I said,
listen. All right, Sandy, give me a question that you want to know about.
There we go. We'll start this way and get you people on. We'll get into it.
I am shocked. I'm usually I'm like. Last week on my show, I went over like 2 minutes. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, it's 9:02. I gotta go, guys. I'm like,
I mean, maybe we waited too long. I don't know, but I don't know. We had a great conversation. I'm sorry, guys, but it was.
But it's interesting the stuff that we're telling you.
Of course, that's part of like what I love to do too. Is you have. Oh, we got somebody. Okay. All right, Jill's here. You ready, Jill? All
right, let's do it.
Let's bring Jill in. Hi, Jill.
Hey, Jill, what's going on? Oh, wait, we got to unmute her. There we go.
There you go, Jill.
Hey, Jill, welcome. How are you, dog?
How are you?
Good.
Uh-oh. Moving around, sorry.
That's okay. Does somebody have a dog? Did somebody lose a dog
So,
around here?
how is everyone tonight?
Wait, what?
Let me find a better place. Hang on.
Okay. This is what happens to him too. It's so funny.
Having to move from one room to the other. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's what we're here to talk,
See
Jill.
if I can get.
It's what we do. We're here to help people, and I'm so glad you decided to come in. It's so great.
I think that may work now.
Hey, did somebody around you lose a
So
dog?
how's everyone?
Did anyone around you lose a dog, or did you lose a dog? You know what? Last night this happened. I was doing readings at this place, and I kept feeling a dog around me. Like actually.
We lost her. Try again, Jill. I don't know what happened. Maybe you dropped out. You hit a button. It happens. So let's bring you back. In the meantime, Sandy said, "Can my brother tell you how he died?"
No, wait. I don't understand. Like why?
Oh, here we go. Jill's back. There she goes.
Yay!
Let's bring her back in. There you are, Jill.
What's going on? All right. Do you have a question?
I didn't the thing about me. Basically, do you feel that I have a empathic or what I told you?
We have bad connection, honey.
Yeah, it's a little tough to hear you.
You know language?
You're
Let me see.
There you go, Jill. Stay right there.
Can we chat?
Yes, ask the question. You're right there. We got you.
Okay. I was just wondering, do you feel like I have abilities? Does it seem that I have, I like I said, I kind of feel empathic, but I didn't know if I might have.
In what way? Because I was saying
if there might be something I should.
I hate the word empathic because everyone is an empath. Everybody, it's human.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a human gift. Feelings of people's.
I do.
Being a psychic or being a medium is you're gonna know what's behind it, not by their feelings. Like like I'll know Rob is tired, Rob's sad. Everyone. We're human. Of course, we're gonna know that. Well, that's a human nature to sense that. To be an empath is overused, that word. It's either you're clearly getting information, because you don't want to discount yourself either. Like I hate, like if you are really picking up clairvoyantly, you don't want to call yourself an empath because then you're just feeling human feelings. So are you actually feeling things or seeing things, or are you just feeling people's emotions?
I feel like I feel things around me, and I kind of pick up on oddities. Or I do see shadows, a lot of orbs and things, and I don't know. I've almost been afraid to go ghost hunting for fear of bringing something back with me.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You know what? You go in there, you say a prayer or whatever you believe in, say a little prayer, protect me, and you're good to go. You just don't go in there. I think some people go in there to provoke, to get something on them. And sometimes we manifest it, we can manifest things, to happen.
Right.
But would be your question?
I believe that.
Yeah. Like, I'll tell you something. I see a female around you. I want to say this person passed in their 40s. And I don't know if this is, I almost feel like a sibling of, I don't know if this sister or like a friend, because it's on that level. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I bet I do now. I just thought of somebody that I think it might be.
Okay. because I almost feel like, were they 42? Because I'm seeing 42. So I know they're in their 40s.
I think actually it would have been closer to the one I'm thinking of would have been about 52. 53.
Okay.
I think anybody in their 40s.
I'm not getting that.
But the one I'm thinking of is April.
Wait, I didn't get that. You kind of went robotic on me.
Can you repeat that, Joe?
I've often wondered if I've had siblings out there that
Siblings that you didn't know about?
the times if I had siblings out there that I'm aware
We're losing you, Jill.
Goodness.
There you go, Jill. Stay right
Keep
there.
losing you guys.
Go ahead and say it again.
My arm is my antenna tonight. I said, or maybe siblings from another time, another lifetime.
Okay. I don't.
Something along those lines. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't see that, but this is somebody that's around you, and it's like the same coloring hair.
You don't get a name?
No, I would tell you that if I was getting that. It's really hard with no connection too. I'm like, but
I imagine.
This is this is going to be a homemaker type person. Took care of family, so she had family. She was married. I know. I feel like I had small kids. I feel I gotta tell you, I feel like I problems breathing, but I feel like there's actually possibly a problem with my breast. So I feel like this is breast cancer or something, because I feel like I can't breathe either. So it would have this would have traveled.
Huh.
Can you hear me? So maybe just
I am at a loss.
All right, and I can have I feel like a K name or a C name, because I'm getting the sound. Not saying that's their name. It's going to be somebody around them.
Right.
And okay. You don't know who that is?
I am sorry we're having such. What was that again?
Do you understand the information?
My connection on my end is acting up.
Yeah.
On chat?
I don't know.
Do you want me to do it on chat?
I guess you can try, but I don't know if you're getting the information that I'm giving you. And there she goes.
Yeah, that was a bad connection. That was tough.
I love Michelle. Does anyone follow Michelle? She's awesome. She's from Reap Nation, West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta follow her on TikTok. She's an amazing investigator, but she is a superstar on TikTok.
That's
love
awesome.
her. Love her.
TikTok has taken off something crazy. You know, TikTok makes and breaks people now. It's just wild. It's wild.
Riz, run. We gotta do some TikTok.
Oh man.
I watch Michelle. I'm like, oh man, I want to do that. I love the one you just had up with the guy that comes in. He's like, he's dancing, this hot guy. Sandy Griffith, I love her on TikTok. Michelle, you're famous. She's amazing. You have to follow her.
That's wild. Yeah, I actually don't have any TikToks. I've never done a TikTok or.
You don't. I'm on TikTok, but I haven't done a video.
Right.
I love to watch the video.
You know, it's funny. I watch these comedians' podcasts, and they go through like the dark, it's like a dark, it's almost like weird humor. But they watch these people's TikToks that make them laugh, and then they put them on the show. It's hilarious. Yeah. Some of the craziest things you've seen, you're like, "Holy crap! What were they thinking? What was happening?" You know?
Yeah. Oh, she said, sorry, guys. Thanks anyway. That was it. I know. I get some people on my show, and we have the worst connection. I kept losing people last week. They just, I guess, in their area. So, you know what? Does anyone have a question? I didn't like that last question because they really don't like to talk about their death, people that cross over, unless they're trying to validate something with me, to tell me something. But I'll tell you, I do have a difficult time when the passing is on through their own hands, or you know, be it suicide or drug overdose. They will not talk about it. They won't tell me.
Right.
And I know it's something like that because they're embarrassed by it and they don't want to admit to it. It was, you know.
Right. Well, I was going to ask, you know, if that plays a role with, you know, how they died too, because sometimes embarrassment, you know, even on the other side, they still tend to have a hard time, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I know, like, sometimes I'm like, you know, they're not telling me how they passed, so, you know.
Right.
And I've had people, you know, what's funny? I had this happen a couple of times where there was a drug overdose, and this actually happened last night. I was doing a reading, and I said, you know what? I said, people were talking. There's rumors going around saying that this person committed suicide. It was not suicide, although it had crossed his mind quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he didn't want to live anymore, because he was, you know, addicted. He didn't want to be like that and, you know, embarrassed to feel. But there was rumors going around that, and they really weren't sure because it was a drug overdose. Was it intentional, you know?
Right.
So it wasn't intentional, and he wanted to get that point across. You know, so.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad to hear a lot of the stories too, you know, when especially when you've been doing this for a while. So I mean, after is the majority of the stories do you hear, are they like towards like a more somber tone, or is there some happy stories? Is it half, you know, what's usually?
Yeah, there's some really happy stories, you know, like, you know, especially when they're greeted by loved ones on the other side. You know, it was their time to go. You know, like I remember, like one of my very first readings, and Ron will know this, it was kind of a friend of ours, and did a reading for the mother, and and I didn't realize it was the grandfather coming through, and he was so funny, and he was saying how he raised her. He said he was her father. And I said, but you know, it's weird. Now it's funny. This is another thing. Before I do readings, I'll take my dog for a walk, and that's when I start picking up my information.
That's awesome. Maybe there's something with the dog. It's like an energy that comes off the dog.
Psychic abilities. He's zero.
Really?
A cat will walk past, and he just like has no idea that they're even there. So.
Oh, that's wild.
He's the worst. Somebody can come rob my house, and he'll leave with them.
That's crazy. Tell us about maybe like the happiest story you've ever had while doing an investigation, or somebody coming through like a real happy, genuinely amazing moment, in the sense that like the people either heard the news and they were super happy about it.
Well, you know what? I can't off the top of my head, but that one reading I told you earlier about the little boy. This is sad, but the parents started having problems, which that happens in a lot when there's a death of a child. The child was adamant that the mother take the father's gun away from him.
Oh, wow. Sort of like a premonition type of thing. Like there could be something bad that's going to happen.
And he was planning on doing it.
Oh, wow. That's the other thing is, you know, when you do these readings, do you get like, do they explain some future events to you sometimes?
You know what? Not always. Like people, like I have people will contact me. She didn't leave a will. Sometimes they're not going to tell you because I don't know why they're not going to tell us, but it's not meant to be known or something like that, or it's only going to cause more problems. They're about, like, you know, enlightenment. What they will do is validate the information to let you know that it's them. Like, you know, I have a woman here. She says her name is Betty. You know what? It's funny. I actually do There was a Betty. I was reading this girl that was she wanted to know if she was have kids because I could see they were having issues with kids.
Mhm.
I see her eventually having children. They were just going to need a little help. A woman came through and saying that she was Aunt Betty and that she also had problems having children and she was there to help them. So she goes, well, I don't have an Aunt Betty, so I don't know who it is. I'm like, all right, I feel bad, I feel stupid now. She contacted me the next day. It was her husband's Aunt Betty.
Oh, wow.
He had lost like 5 children. So
Damn.
yeah, so she came back to help them to have a child because I did see them having a child.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It also could be something like they don't want to, like, things are meant to happen. There's like a divine plan for the destinies of the universe and things like that. Maybe they can't, it's like a rule they can't tell you unless maybe they're breaking that rule.
I don't know if it's a rule, but I just think some things were not meant to be known. They're not here to do that. What my mentor always told me, like, even like not to use our family members as guides to get information, like my mom or anything, because that's not their job. Like, we have other guides, like, like angels, or if you want to call it that, or just, ascended masters that will give us the information. Do you believe, Jill Edwards McDonald said, do you believe our past pets can revisit us? Oh, absolutely. And they stay around too. I had this happen during a reading. I was reading someone and I said to the girl, I said, oh my God, I said, did you just lose a dog? Or a dog, yeah. And, they're crying. Yeah. I said, you moved the blanket. They're so upset. Put the blanket back where it was.
Oh, wow.
They took their blanket where their spot was, and the dog came back looking for its spot. They come back. Sometimes I'll be doing a reading and I will feel like either a dog, like I had a German Shepherd, like come between my legs when I was doing a reading and like snuggling up against me.
Oh, wow.
So crazy. I had a cat walk on my desk while I was doing a live reading. I'm like, all right, did anyone just lose a cat that with the black, orange, and white spots? And the woman, I guess it's a calico. Is that it? She's like, oh my God, that's my cat. My cat just passed away this morning.
That's wild.
Oh,
That's wild.
Too. I was close to the name too of the animal. That's another difficult thing. Like people like, do you have a name? Like, well, the connection is not as good as Verizon. So so I don't know. Unless they show me like I told you, like that guy I used to work with. Bruce.
Right.
They'll show me somebody I know.
That's cool. That's so cool. Like I so wish I could do what you do. It's just
you can.
I'm sure, but I don't have the not yet, Eddie. Well, not I'm going to play devil's advocate too. Well, nobody's going to be jumping in for a reading. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay,
and I remember you told me the last time that we spoke that you saw somebody like a sister that was a little girl around me. Is there anybody coming through now around me?
You know what? Right now, I'm not seeing anyone around you, but for some reason, this girl is talking about something with a leather jacket. I keep seeing this leather jacket. I don't know the meaning behind this. So I'm like,
a leather jacket. I got to rack my brain for that.
Yeah.
A leather jacket. I have a leather jacket that's actually not
in my
leather
jacket,
right. It's actually not in my possession right now. It's at my uncle's house. And they actually texted me the other day to come and get it too. So
well, maybe maybe it's validation to go pick up your damn jacket.
Maybe you know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Well, she showed me the leather jacket. Also, something about the pocket, something in the pocket, something falls through the pocket, something with the pocket. Did you have issues with this jacket?
Absolutely. Pockets. So all my pockets on the inside of jackets, they end up with holes in them.
But there's something, you're going to find something at the bottom. Look for it.
It's probably money. I used to store money in those jackets in the inside pockets when I wasn't wearing them. I'd shove money in there.
Oh, she's ratting you out.
Probably. I mean, that's wild. That's
You know,
wild.
can I just say something? I got to say this to Ron.
Go ahead.
Ron, I was picking this up before. I feel like Ron is going to be asked to participate with a book, or write a book, or be part of a book.
That's awesome.
I know. I because I just so I was there. I thought he had left us. Ron, you there?
He's still here. He's still here. 9:41. Yeah, 2 minutes ago he commented.
Because said not as good as Verizon loan. Do you think the dream of past loved ones are actually visited? Absolutely. Yeah, Ron, I'm sorry to get off you, Rob. I saw this before I was talking to you. I'm seeing somebody either asking you to write a book with them, or you're going to work with somebody on a book.
I would believe that too, because you such great work. Just to even put that down in like the history of it, or and how you move forward, or all your findings while doing it. Because I know you guys go over reel and tape, of recordings. That's
Well, okay, I trust her. Well, yeah, Ron's been with me when I say I'm like bam, 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 right, with my information. See, that's when I zone out. Ron knows my zone.
Mm-hmm.
I know, Ron. I'm telling you, this is. It's like I definitely see this for Ron.
Awesome.
And you know what's funny, Ron? I was thinking about too. Oh, for the past 2 nights I've had family. Listen, I will never see my mom physically, like an apparition, like I would see other people. My mom came to my dream once, but it was so heart-wrenching for me. I as I was coming out of the dream, because we were holding hands and I didn't want to let go of her. As I'm waking up, my eyes are open and I'm crying, and I can still feel my mom's hand on me. It was crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I haven't had that dream again because it affected me so I couldn't stop crying. It was so heart-wrenching. So now my mom only contacts me through music. It's weird.
That's awesome, because music is super emotional.
Yes. And that's signs. They give us signs. My mom always gives me signs through songs. She'll play a certain song, and she'll play these certain 3 songs all in a row. And they're total different genres. And all the time when she's around me, all the time.
But you know what they mean because of what they meant to you while you were listening to them in person. You know what I mean? Like the emotions that run through you.
Well, you know what happened? I woke up 2:00 in the morning while she was in the hospital. I woke up and I said, "Oh my God, my mom's gonna die."
Wow.
Tonight, and I turn on the TV because I'm waiting for the phone call because I know I'm gonna get a phone call. And the train song "Drops of Jupiter" went on.
Love that song.
I know, me too. And like Heaven's Overrated, and it just affected me so bad. And I listened to that whole song played, and as soon as it finished, the phone rang and they said, "Get to the hospital now. She's gonna pass."
Oh
So
man, I'm sorry to hear all that.
No, but there's signs. So that was she'll play that song. She loved this song by Lou Rawls, "You'll Never Find," and it always plays after the song. How odd is that? That you play Train and go to Lou Rawls, a really old song.
Right. I really think that sometimes music is a way that the universe talks to you. It really does.
Like how Ron communicates with the radio.
Right.
Control it.
It's almost like the universe knows what song you need to hear when you need to hear it. It's so incredible, and that's why I say there's no such thing as coincidence, because of things that have happened in my life like that. I mean, it's just intense,
Yeah, you know what? You're on different stations right now. Like, is that what you're saying? Because I feel like I lose one, but I'm gaining another one.
Different stations. We're on RU Media Network and we're on my YouTube page. But this particular show is on 2 different networks, shall we say, Tuesdays and Saturdays.
I feel like, I don't know, something's going to change and I'm gaining something else. Something else is coming in regards to your work.
Something good, hopefully.
No, yeah, actually, it is very good. It is very good. It's just this change coming up. But you gain something out of it, so it's really works to your advantage.
Oh wow. Maybe a sponsorship. That would be
Well,
exceptional.
because I'm seeing something with paperwork where I'm signing something.
Hmm.
Some type of agreement.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. David, are you watching this? Are you meeting?
Well, you know what? I tell the gentlemen that support me all the time. You know, they are officially
Yeah.
my sponsors.
Absolutely.
That they're all coming with me. You know, wherever I go, they're all going to be right
absolutely.
there with me. You know, people who gave me that platform to go on. You know, I in spades will give back to them whenever I can. You know.
Yeah, that's how I feel with Ron and Lourdes. We're a team.
And it's funny because you know we've had a couple conversations, me and Ron and Lourdes.
He's having a cigar on his balcony right now.
That's awesome. But I feel the same kind of connection with you too. And I feel like that, you know, working together only benefits everybody. And I feel like there's strong connection to you that I can't really put a finger on right now.
Yeah.
But like with you, with Ron and Lourdes and you, like I feel like, you know, it's pretty wild. We actually have another person who came in by the name of Tanya Miller, who I think wants a reading.
I know Tanya. I think I know you, Tanya.
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
Hi,
Tanya.
Hi.
Did I read you before?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
it was really good.
It was really good.
Yes, ma'am.
What did I tell you?
It was about the man that was around here from the 1800s. That there was some activity going on.
Oh,
yeah. So
go ahead.
I want to know. So my mom passed when I was 4. And my grandmother passed about 2 years ago, and I'm just wondering if they're around, or if you may sense them or anything.
All right, let's see. Hey, are you still having activity in the house?
Off and on.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I just saw this. I don't know if this is the same. Now I forgot what I had said to you.
That's okay.
I was saying earlier, I don't remember my information, but I'm seeing this man from the 1800s. I think this is different from the last man I told you about. I almost feel like you know how they spit into like the tin cans?
Oh, yes.
What is it called? A spittoon.
Yeah.
Would you happen to hear tinging sounds like that?
Sometimes, I mean, we hear lots of random noises, you know, like we have knocking on the windows.
Yeah.
Not on one window, but it'll start on one window in the kitchen and work its way around the house.
Yeah.
There's lots
that
of
one I don't like. Yeah, that one I don't like.
Yeah,
and
you. Yeah, and we've seen our dog get pushed to the ground by something that it was unexplainable. Dog food bowl get pushed out from the wall.
That's the outside thing.
Yeah, and she's terrified of it, whatever it is.
Yeah. And you did you contact anyone? Did I tell you to contact anyone?
No, I actually I had reached out to someone a long time ago, but that kind of went in a different direction.
Yeah. You know what? I get a little nervous with some people don't know how to correctly do it.
Yeah.
It could be dangerous, you know, like if they can actually close and encase them into the property. And I've seen that happen. I've been to properties, and Ron, you can testify. I know we went to Haldeman. I said somebody tried to do something at the front door, and they did find out about somebody tried to do some type of spell at the front door.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Listen, I don't like the thing outside. This thing dwells outside.
Yes. Real quick, my son and I were outside fishing. We had a little lantern lit up, and the lantern was maybe 2 feet behind us, and we were standing at the edge of the lake. All of a sudden, both of us saw a very clear shadow of a person,
Yeah.
kind of like they were hunched over and they ran by like this. And then I heard we it spooked us, so we went looking all around the house. There's no one there. And then we heard, as we were coming in the back door, we put our fishing stuff up because it scared us. We started coming up the back door, and as I approached the back porch, we hear a child call mommy. And sound like a younger child, younger than my boys are teenagers.
Yeah, that's fake.
Mm-hmm.
That's fake. They're mimicking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're mimicking.
Very weird.
This again almost reminds me of an elemental trying to get you to the property, which kind of scares me. Don't be scared. Like, I mean, I don't want to say it to frighten you. Like, I don't.
I know. Yeah.
But listen, what it's doing. I for some reason, any of your relatives are being blocked from coming into the house. But there is a man, the spitting man, that this used to be his property, that he's trying to help you guys and protect you. That's why I keep like he's rambling under his voice, like, we're just gonna come into my property and spitting. That's why I'm saying, like, do you hear tinging sounds? Because I keep hearing the tinging sounds of him spitting.
There's little, like I said, there's so many random noises. It's hard to pinpoint them all, but I definitely have heard a male voice several times. Very, very clear. And then sometimes it sounds like just someone having either mumbling to themselves or having a conversation with other people.
Yeah.
And I just can't hear the other people.
All right. This guy that I'm seeing mumbles to himself. He's like, I'm not gonna let these people onto my property. Like,
Wow.
You're not getting into my property. Like, he's protecting the land. It's not that he really cares about you guys, but this is still his property. He's accepting that you guys are here.
He's like, get off my stuff,
Yeah, get off. Yeah.
Wild. That's wild.
You know what? All right, because this isn't I'm actually seeing this rising out of the earth. Like the shadow of it rising out of the earth. This is how it comes up. There's others too. And I see them rising out. This is so creepy.
Yeah.
But they make themselves look creepy.
Well, that's funny because the different things that happen, like say if something happens this week, it might be dead quiet for the next couple months or even a whole straight next year. And then something different starts happening. So it's I feel like it's more than, not just the same thing all the time. I don't know if it's just more than one thing passing.
And I'm seeing them coming out of.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh my God, wait. I'm actually seeing a lot of deaths on this property. I don't know where you are, so I don't know if there's people killed on this property. I don't know if this is due to war or.
I'm in Florence, Mississippi.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of battles that went through the Civil War.
No, I was just gonna say I have no idea. I'm seeing 35 people killed on this property.
Oh wow!
Yikes!
So,
wow.
But it's funny. This guy that's on your property, the good guy, the spittoon guy, is different. It's not from the same era. Like I want to say 1800. I almost want to say 1880, 1890. Like.
Yeah. I think that's what you were telling me before. He from like I think it was like 1840 to the 1890s or somewhere.
Okay, so there I am. All right, see, I don't remember what I say. This man, he's kind of cool. He's trying to protect the property. He's like, like, hey, wait, so Ron,
yes.
I'm telling Ron, Patrick just messaged me. Freaking Patrick, he's one of our friends that we investigated too. We haven't seen in a while. Listen, so if you want to get rid of this, like because you're in Mississippi, I can remotely help you, but I think I need somebody to clear the property. And I always say go with a shaman.
Okay.
Go with a shaman because they're the most well-equipped people to do this. I don't want a psychic going in there because you might get a newbie.
Yeah,
that really thinks they know how to clear something, and they actually will mess it up again.
Yep.
Yeah, like the one the one that you dealt with.
Yes.
That makes me very nervous because I know I've went into too many homes where like, oh, I have my friend, she's a Wiccan, and she poured salt around the property. I'm like, oh. I'm like,
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
Just,
Trap them.
just to let you guys know, I'm looking up Mississippi Civil War battles,
Okay.
and there's the Siege of Corinth, and a lot of people died during the Siege of Corinth, and that's
Wow.
Florence, Mississippi. There's Chickasaw Bayou, Vicksburg Campaign, the Grand Gulf, and Sydney's Bluff, if that rings any
wow.
bells.
Wow. I have no idea about history. I failed all 4 years. I had to make it up.
That's my specialty. So
Well, thank you for sharing that information.
Hey,
I'll
sure.
look into it
Fine,
too.
well, listen, message me anytime. I know I saw that name. I'm like, I know her. Message me. We'll talk. You know what I
Okay.
can do? My tribe, we're from all over the area. I will put a message out to the tribes members, see if there's somebody in the area that can help you out. Everyone, listen, if there's a problem, go to a shaman.
Right.
I've seen too many issues with these people that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Shamans are the only ones that are well equipped and were taught how to, fix all different problems the correct way.
Well, I'll do that, and I appreciate everything. Thank you so much.
Oh, wait, she said
Sandy said you don't look old enough to have teenagers.
Yeah, I'm
That's so
37.
sweet. That's nice. See?
My
You
oldest is 17.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yep, he'll be 17 February. So,
Oh my
yeah.
God. A Pisces.
Keep doing whatever you're doing because it's working.
Yeah.
People
Yeah,
notice.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, dog. Good talking
Thank
to
you
you.
for coming on. It was a pleasure.
You
Always
too.
a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Have a great night.
You too.
All right.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
This is a great show. This is so much fun. I can't wait to do an investigation.
Oh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Tell everybody where you're gonna be and when. I have some dates here.
Okay.
I have October 17th at Selma Mansion live readings.
I'll be doing live one-on readings. So, guys, private message me. We'll set up a time.
Yeah, I have the 23rd at Gettysburg Ghost Exchange, right?
Yes, with Pamela and Stephen Barry. I'll be doing readings there. And then that night, I will be going to, it's already a sold out event, to the Lookout House and doing an investigation of the property. So I'm so psyched. Then the 24th, so cool. I'm going to be with Ernie Atwell and David. I forgot his last name. Oh my God, he's going to kill me. But they're from Paranormal Inc. I am doing an investigation with them at a property. I think it's the Resilience. I think it's a restaurant or something. But I had already given them information. When they told me, invited me there, I said, "Can you please?" I said, "I keep seeing glasses being thrown off a bar," and he goes, "I have no idea." And he called up and he said, "Yeah, every glass pots are being thrown off." I said, "I see an angry man going in there and like slamming everything off the bar."
Oh wow.
He's very angry. I think he lost a child and he's pissed off.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Yeah, I'd be pissed too.
I would be too. So, I mean, we also have the 31st, right? And that's at the Shanley.
Oh yeah, we at the Shanley. I'll be doing gallery readings and then another investigation.
Oh, so cool. So cool. That is, and also every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. live readings on your page, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Paranormal Warehouse.
Yes, Paranormal Warehouse.
Or link to my page. I'll be I have it airing on my page and at Paranormal Inc. And I do live readings and I bring you on. Guys, come on. I get on to read the messages and because I want to go quick. I want everyone to have a turn. I want to help as many people as I can. And if you want to reach out to me, you can reach me at intuitiveapril.com. Private message me on my page.
That's awesome. I mean, and that's the thing, people, is she's here to help you no matter what. And I truly, truly admire that. It's something to say that, there's a lot of people out there who do what she does, but are, they're not, I don't want to say that, they're some type of way, but what she does is truly, truly amazing.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
I don't think you should be charging for helping people.
No, and I just want to, I want you to tell everybody where they can find you, your websites. I know we discussed one of them, but is there anywhere else that they can find you on your Instagram and your Twitter and all that?
Intuitive April on Instagram. Excuse me, I almost choked to death.
I'm sorry.
.com. It's not your fault. It was my fault. I thought I was swigging wine. No. And on my page, it's my full name because Facebook sucks, but it's L.Tricoli-Busset. I know it's going to be hard to find, but until I can get my name back. So my business name, Mark Zuckerberg.
Damn you, Zuckerberg. We're watching you, bud.
Yeah, we're watching you. We're coming after you, Mark.
That's a fact. Now, April, I just wanted to thank you so much. We're coming up on a 2-hour limit. I just want to thank you so much for being here. It was such a great episode. It was such a pleasure to have you. I hope you come back because this was actually one of the best episodes we've done. And you are phenomenal. I'm honored to have you here. I mean, it is just truly amazing that you came to do this with us tonight. And I want people to follow her and support her in whatever she does because she truly is helping people. And it's such an admirable thing. It's so hard to find nowadays. And you're awesome.
You're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I love you. And I can't wait to investigate you. We are.
Oh, I can't wait. And we're going to take videos, guys. We're going to put it up.
You know what?
Everywhere.
We will. We'll do it live.
Yeah, we can live stream. We can live stream all of it.
Here, I'll live stream on on my Facebook page.
Awesome. Please go to my YouTube page at Full Spectrum Universe. Subscribe. Follow what we do. I am on 3 different shows 3 times a week, or 2 different shows 3 times a week. I've got Monday night, The Seer and the Scholar. I've got a Tuesday night, Full Spectrum Universe, and a Saturday night, Full Spectrum Universe. Wow. Monday night, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we also have the Saturday show, which is here at the RU Media Network. I want to thank them for putting us out there for everybody to watch. That is 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So no matter what time you get off of work or you have free during an evening, I am on one of 3 evenings. So please follow us. Who's
going to be on Monday? You have a big person coming on Monday.
We have Mustafa Gratoli and Brandon Alves.
Yes.
That'll be Monday night with the Seer and the Scholar.
Guys, you can't miss this. These guys are amazing.
Gonna be wild. So thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. I just want to say thank you to the audience again. You guys are part of the reason why we do this. I love you guys. It is the best audience around. I'm telling you, they reach out to me with nothing but love.
Awesome.
You guys are amazing. So everybody have a great night. Enjoy your Saturday. Stay in the love and light. And I pray for all of you. Thank you all. Have a great night.
Bye, guys.